I don't need a
So
game that wants to philosophize to me.
yeah, so one of your goals
Spec Ops.
is to do more rants about those things.
No, that's not. But I wanted to say that while you're mentioning games everyone talks about.
So it's the beginning of 2025, and usually people will make resolutions at this time. I think resolutions is too much of a commitment. So what we're going to do is we're just talking about goals that we want to set for ourselves for the new year. It does not have to be anything specific, gaming related, whatever. Just what our goals are for the year. And I don't know how many we have, but I'm gonna... But
not a lot for me because generally goal setting is not something I do.
Fair enough. You know what though? I will start though. I think the goal for me, I guess I have a couple. The first goal for me is that I wanted to. I've been trying to think about like what to do with Titanium Mine, where I talk about specific kinds of games, and even stuff that I'd like to talk about here. And while I can play like new releases and I like to stay apprised of new releases, I really get intrigued by playing older games that like just don't seem to have any footprint whatsoever. You heard about them once 6 years ago and you're like, huh, whatever happened to that? And no one talks about it anymore. I've been, when they're on sale, like popping like the $2 or $3 ones into my cart that look like they might have had something interesting going on with them. And I wanted to try those out and then report back on games like Demonicon or Dark. Because like I saw Dark pop up on like Deep Sale and I was like, oh, I kind of remember people talking about Dark for 5 seconds once upon a time. I wonder what that was. I'd like to try that. And I think it's just more interesting for me too, not talking about the same games that everybody else is talking about, but like literally games that don't necessarily didn't make much of a dent, and I'm wondering why. Like I'm just kind of wondering why. You know.
I want to add to that point, not
Sure.
not talking about the same games everyone else talks about.
Mm.
On that note, I've had this thought for a while now where I just want to fucking rant at some point about how much I don't need to see another fucking video essay about Outer Wilds.
Yeah, sorry.
Not you.
Yeah. Well, no.
We didn't go into a video essay about how Outer Wilds or Spec Ops Online. If I see another fucking pretentious motherfucker give me a video about how in-depth and meaningful Spec Ops Online is and what the true meaning of that fucking game is, I'm gonna fucking strangle a YouTuber.
Yeah.
I say on YouTube.
Yeah, I know. The thing about it, I will talk about Spec Ops The Line, because I did love Spec Ops The Line. I did.
Sure.
But I will admit something. Pretty much everything that's can be said about Spec Ops The Line has already been said. I don't think there's a lot of new information that we can garnish out of Spec Ops The Line.
And to me, for that, it's not even that the game is open to like speculation or like nuanced meaning from it. It's like, oh no, this is 100%. People have dissected it. This is 100% the story. It's how it's meant to be told. It's like, that's just a story. It's not nuanced to me at that point. I want a game where you can infer your own meaning from it. Yeah. And then talk about how you like the meanings you got out of it if you're going to do that.
Yeah. It's like Spec Ops
is more Outer Wilds.
Yeah, Outer Wilds is another one. I see a lot of people talk about that. I've seen a lot of people that will gush openly about it. I get it. It's one that I still say I have to try again because it didn't really grab me the first time. I do feel like there's more to it than I want to believe. But the thing about it is like, yeah, I understand that it does something really interesting and meaningful. I understand that. I do. But again, everyone's talked about it already, and I don't see a lot of new information or introspection coming out of those essays.
I did. because I watched the librarian's playthrough of Outer Wilds.
Okay.
And he's more of a live reaction to it. He doesn't script his content. He just kind of commentates on it as it's doing, and he's very insightful for a lot of it. And I love his commentary, and Ray does too. But he played that, and his commentary was just great because he will, in the moment, kind of be like, "Oh, okay, this has to do with that." I finally get the picture together, and it's really a lot more what I want to hear out about a game like that.
Sure.
In the moment stuff, than just kind of like, "Oh yeah, I had a deep think about what this game truly means and how it's philosophically great." I don't play games for philosophy. I play games to distract myself from this mortal coil that I need to shuffle off some year.
We tried to forget. And I
play games to enjoy myself.
Maybe that's why you didn't. Maybe that's why you didn't like the commentaries on Spec Ops. Because Spec Ops very much does talk about the mortal coil that we're on, and that's very much a thing.
I don't need a game that wants to philosophize to me.
Yeah. So one of your goals is to do more rants about those things.
No, that's not. But I wanted to say that while you're mentioning games everyone talks about.
It behooves me more not to talk about, like, I don't need to talk about Baldur's Gate 3 again. I don't need to talk about, like, Fallout again. Like there's some games that I'd like to talk about, but honestly, do I need to discuss Dark Souls? Probably not.
The impetus there is that the show here and what we do on TPK is stuff we would like to talk about, hopefully.
Yes.
And I don't feel like we have the big enough audience to garner our opinions on Baldur's Gate 3 and Spec Ops The Line.
On the latest, hottest game. Yeah, exactly.
Like, if we had a huge following and people were like, "Hey, we'd really love to have you guys tell us your opinions on this," that would be one thing.
Sure.
But, like,
yeah. As it stands, like, just in general, I think it's really interesting to find the games that are just completely lost to time that, you know, you might want to discuss, which is the reason why one of the next things I want to talk about is I do want to talk about Blood West, and, like, the reason I mentioned Pesticide Not Included now, is for that very reason, because, you know, you come across things, and you're like, I just happened to find this stuff, and maybe it's just funny or goofy, or like you're like, wow, this is wildly bad, but you're interested in, like, what are these games that came around, and is there something worth discussing? Because nobody is, frankly. So that would be one of my goals, is for, like, what I want to do with the content, especially over, like, on Titanium Mine, because I think that makes more sense to be the kind of thing that I talk about over there. Did you have one that you wanted to discuss besides the ranting?
It's not a goal. It's just something I will probably end up doing once in a while. One of my goals, I think, for this year is I've been getting more into painting again, as I've mentioned.
Yeah.
So these are, I was telling you before, a couple of the guys that I just recently finished.
Mm-hmm.
They're not great pictures because, you know,
look at them.
It's just with a phone camera.
Nice.
But, like, these are a couple of guys that I painted, like, and I finally finished them. I stripped them and just repainted them, and I am really happy with them. I need to take better pictures because these don't do them justice.
Sure. Sure.
But, like, I'm really happy with how they turned out.
Yeah. This look good.
Thanks. I spent fair amount of time on them, and since I took those, I've touched them up a little because I, like, glued them on. There was, like, glue marks or super glue which could be seen, so I was like, all right, well, I need to touch up those areas.
Yeah.
But I find that, like, especially where Ray has also been doing some miniature painting with me, not Warhammer specifically, but she's been trying out miniature painting, and she's good. She's really good. Helps that she's actually an artist and has a bit more artistic skill than I do, like, out the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I had the level of skill she has just starting out, when I started out, this far later, I would probably be way better than I am. She's painted a couple wolves, and they look amazing.
What? It's
but, like, she's...
Oh, yeah. I was just going to ask, on a side note, I'm curious, what kind of paints do you use? Do you use acrylics or oils?
They're acrylics. They're Citadel's paints.
Okay.
Who Citadel is Games Workshop. So,
okay. Got it.
A lot of people say they're... I like them. I think they're fine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everyone has their thing. Maybe one day I'll try some Vallejo or something else, but that's what I use to just the Citadel paints. That way I can match colors.
Oh, sure.
The way I want to.
Sure.
But no, I want to get back into doing that. I've got a couple guys I showed you a little while ago from our PA trip that we had. These guys, I currently have another project I'm working on after these guys are done that I'm working on for a friend. But I have like this guy here. I have the color scheme I want to do for him.
Oh, sure.
I can't really show him very well. It's this guy with an
some
axe
red,
on this.
some gold, some black,
beasties.
some silver. Yeah.
I'm not going to do him those colors. His armor is going to be white and like red.
Sure.
Instead of red, because I had a whole idea for this guy based on the world leaders. And then the little dude he's on is going to be like a smoky black instead of just a jet black.
Oh, cool.
I think. And then maybe bloodstains on them.
Oh, that'd be
there
good.
You go.
That'd be good. Get a little.
But the guy's armor will be like, most of the guy's armor will be like white, and then his pauldrons and some accents on him will be like a gory red.
Nice.
These guys I haven't really decided what I want to do, but I like them.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
And
these are chaos.
I want to.
Okay. So
yeah, just because I like chaos stuff.
Chaos. Yeah.
Got lots of trim that can look nice and do really detailed stuff with it. I enjoy that. But I want to get back into doing more of that. So it's not like gaming, like definitely not PC gaming, but it's something I want to strive to improve at and do more of. And my thought process is that if I paint them and enjoy them, that's cool. If I paint them and maybe want to try to sell them, then that's fine.
Sure.
Because I don't really play anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at the same time, though, like, maybe I could try to get into Killzone, which is apparently a format you can do for 40k. That's very much smaller.
Oh, sure.
To get into, like, smaller, quicker, faster, and more streamlined games. And
yeah.
I'm like, maybe if I can find people around, so I have to look into that. So for me, it's like I want to do more things that I enjoy.
Yeah.
This year in general.
Yeah.
And I've been finding I really enjoy that, especially while having someone with me hanging out, listening to a podcast and painting.
Sure. Sure.
So I want to get back into doing that more, which I've been doing slowly anyway. So the goal is to do more of that and then learn like airbrushing. And then I think maybe, I'm not entirely sure, I've been contemplating it, but I don't know if I'll actually do it, is like maybe streaming like 1 or 2 days a week.
Oh, sure. Anything
or
specific
something I want to
that you wanted to do while you're...
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. It's like, if I do it, what do I want to do?
Do you want to do it while you're doing like spray painting and like doing figure? No. It'd be video gaming that I do it. I wouldn't be streaming and painting that I couldn't pay attention to anything. Sometimes
I don't want to try to have a camera set up on what I'm doing with my hands. So.
Sure. You don't want to be a hand channel? Oh.
No, my hands are disgustingly destroyed half the time from working in the cold.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like if I've got a broken skin on.
Yeah. You can't be the lock-picking lawyer, sorry. But you know what I find is that, like, because we do the monthly streams, I do find it a good opportunity to play games that I normally would not play, or try to, like, go outside of my comfort zone with those, as a good excuse for that. Because, it's like, oh, well, we're streaming, I guess I gotta play the game that I didn't, like, normally consider playing. But okay, so that's cool. Also, for me, goal that is not gaming related, as you know, and maybe some people know, I've been building a workshop the last year or so. That's been like a thing that I'm doing, and we're getting close to being done and set up and everything out there. And then, of course, after we get the workshop set up, my thought is, well, what exactly am I actually doing when I get out there? Because it was mostly so that I could set up all these tools that I have around and you could use them. But what I've kind of decided on is to try and get better at doing like CAD and layout and design so that I can build stuff on the 3D printer that I just got, but also probably like a laser engraver and a CNC machine at some point. So that I can
Those are all fun tools.
Yeah, and learn how to actually do that so that I can build larger, like, fabrication kind of things is what I wanted to do. I kept a couple. I showed you more that if you're on their Patreon, you'll see a few more of them, but basically, like, this was a cane handle that I was fabricating. I wish I could take credit for the designs, but these are not my designs. I was just tooling around. This was the little wobbly dragon, and this was the little octopus, which somebody said, wouldn't that be cool as earrings? And it's like, oh, I guess it would. So I've been playing around with design and layout and stuff like that, and I've found a lot of nights, like, I'll just be in the program for, like, the layout, and I didn't play any games during that time period because I'm just like, oh, wait, if I lay this out and raise this up and change this around and change the finish on these, what will happen? And so that's led me to, like, playing around with that a lot more. And I think it's really nice because building things is always fun. But a lot of times for me, doing, like, the work with my hands of trying to, like, carve and sculpt and stuff is not something I'm all that great at. But doing, like, fabrication work on a computer and then telling a machine to do it after I do the layout, well, that is actually something that I can get behind and I can do a little bit better. But what I really wanted to do was do more of my own designs. This is a little bit of one of the things I was doing for the workshop is actually trying to make these outlet covers and stuff like that would be useful to number and to letter for the different tools. So those are the kinds of things that I've been working on this last month, and I think I'm probably going to be focused on trying to design some larger things that I can actually make, maybe stuff that I can sell when I come up with some good designs, and then fabricate all of that stuff so that I can make them. If I come up with any designs and I like them, I will be sure to share them with you so that you can see what I was working on. I have a couple ideas, but yeah, the goal is really to, instead of these really cool designs that I happen to find online, actually build some designs of my own, and then make those pieces as a longer term thing. Really get some use out of it. So we're working on that. That's going to be a goal for the new year, and hopefully it will go well. So yeah, I think that being said, that's enough goals to work with this year. I think that's good. And if anyone out there has some goals, we're not going to commit you to something like a resolution, because resolutions seem like something that you have to do. Goals are just a nice thing to kind of like plan your year ahead, I think. And so if you have any goals that you wanted to share, that you want to be on record for the coming year, you can let us know in the comments down below. And it doesn't have to be gaming related. It can be just any kind of goal. It's fine. You can just let us know.